welcome back. Hello, good day. We're back yet again. I couldn't take it anymore. We must play more DROD. The time has come. The return of DROD. Oh, I'm very excited. Welcome, chat and business. Welcome, gregarious bird. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Skeleton manners, welcome. There's a lot. To answer your question, there's a lot. I'm playing through the expansion packs, I guess you can call them. Little DLC level packs that were released intermittently. Basically, there's 5 canon games, and then there's 12, they're called Smite Master Selections, smaller little level packs. And I'm playing through all the 12 different DLC level packs at the moment. And then there's still going to be 2 more main canon games to go. There's still a lot of DROD. Lots and lots and lots. And there's also hundreds of user-made stages too. Fan campaigns, if you will. I really want to play DROD 5. Like, I really want to. I've been fiending for it. It looks like a lot of fun. I say that without having looked at it very much at all. I really want to play it. But we'll get there. We'll get there in time. So, whoops. We can do this. We can have this little music playing. There are also fan-made stages for DROD RPG, but there aren't any like canonized Smite Master selections for DROD RPG. Sadly. There are user-made ones. Those might be fun to check out. So today we're going to start with The Choice, which was technically, I think, the first Smite Master selection released, number 0 of 12. So I guess there's 13. I don't know how the numbering works. I don't care. I don't have a cool picture to put up. No picture. I mean, I can go like... I can cancel the music by clicking on it. I can go like that. That kind of works. It's a little creepy though. Put him away. Put him away. Go away. Yeah, we're gonna play The Choice. This is... yeah, like Bird says. It came with the upgraded King Dugan's Dungeon 2.0 edition. King Dugan's Dungeon is a remake of the original DROD, but with an updated engine, with like added secret rooms, with checkpoints, with all these fancy whiz-bang features that weren't in the initial release. And my understanding is there's the original DROD, Webfoot edition, and then Architect's edition was later released, which was very similar to the original DROD. Architect's edition was the first one that allowed people to create their own holds. And then after Architect's edition, I don't know the timeline exactly or the years, but after Architect's edition came King Dugan's Dungeon, which is the second remake of the original DROD, but this one has all new engine, released by Caravel Games after they split from Webfoot. And then that was the 1.0 release. Then when Journey to Ridhold came out, DROD 2, they added a bunch of new gameplay elements and engine upgrades. They upgraded King Dugan's Dungeon to 2.0 edition, and then with that upgrade came The Choice. It's kind of complicated. I might have my timeline wrong, but basically it's a small little package of levels. Should be fun. Short and sweet. 3D DROD, yeah, I forgot about that one. That'd be cool to check out. I don't know, DROD 1... The stage design was very rough around the edges. You could tell it was a very much so a first effort. And the puzzle design has been greatly improved and refined as the series progresses. DROD 1 was quite a hodgepodge of just different ideas, trying things out. A lot of the puzzles were very bad. But it was still a fun game. I like the music of the original a lot. I haven't listened to the music in like Architect's Edition though. I think that one has unique tracks. But anyway, we're gonna play some more DROD. I don't really have a lot to say. Everybody knows DROD. Everybody that's familiar with this stream knows DROD. We're gonna play more DROD. DROD. So yeah, the plan is to play the choice. I'm pretty sure this one's pretty short. Should be able to breeze through this in a couple hours. And then immediately move into Beathrow's Teacher. Beathrow's Teacher, which is... It has a reputation as being one of the most difficult holds of the Smite Master selections. It's like the choice... No, what am I saying? Beathrow's Teacher, Perfection, and Complex. And as far as I understand it, the Perfection is like third place as far as difficulty, and then Beathrow's Teacher and Complex, those two are like tied for first or second depending on the person. So I'm excited for it. I expect it to take multiple streams, maybe a couple dozen hours. Probably comparable to a normal DROD game. It could be one of those issues where a single screen takes an hour or two. And there's multiple of those rooms in a row. So, it'll be fun. I'm excited for it. Let's begin. Let's begin the journey. Upsetting 3D Beathrow. Okay, let me click on that. Oh dear, look at him. Yeah, he doesn't look anything like Beathrow. That'd be fun to play as like a little curiosity. Alright, game. The choice. I really can't wait. I should just upgrade my DROD client to whichever version allows for the music to keep playing when you click away from the game. That alone would be a nice upgrade. But I'm going to stick with DROD City Beneath 3.3. The same one I've been using. So we see here, we have The Choice, then Beathrow's Teacher. The Choice by Neil Frederick. Beathrow cogitates on the chromatic conundrum he currently confronts. So yeah, my understanding of this hold is it's based around a choice you make in the very first screen. You can see a preview here. You take the north path, then all the subsequent puzzles are tar based. Take the south path, all the subsequent puzzles are mud based. So it'll be a nice little twist. Let's go. New game. Beathrow gradually regained consciousness. In hindsight, I really shouldn't have followed that thieving goblin into that dark alley. Checked around to make sure he still had his big sword. Well, everything's here except for my Greckles. Beathrow set about getting the frail out of wherever he'd been dumped. Start a timer. Shining Arrow, welcome. I'm excited to start it myself.
What will you choose?
Huh? The blue path.
Or the red path? The decision is irrevocable and will haunt you for the rest of your days.
Whoa. Whoa.
Do I get my Greckles back either way?
Choices. Tar. So we may play through this hold twice. I'm not sure yet. Well, alright. Immediately launched into the first screen. We can go down there and just kill the mud mother. So we are dealing with mud. Okay. I haven't even looked at the screen here. So to take the top path here, we just need to kill all the enemies, which is one serpent, one rattlesnake. Drop all the trapdoors to release both of them, then stab them. Okay. So we're able to kill the Mud Mother, meaning the tar will now be expanding in these rooms, and the mud will be still. Just have to cut through, drop these trapdoors, then the enemies are free and we kill them. Cool. And I can't actually cut through the mud any farther, so we just go like that. I feel like I should just go straight for these. It's the way things are arranged, nothing will expand. We're just gonna get babies. Lots and lots of babies spit out. We could cut through and destroy these blobs to make this easier. Let's actually do that. I've already died. Alright, we gotta get back into the DROD mindset. I need to relearn how to play this game. Too much Famicom bootleg has dulled my DROD senses. Okay. Maybe we don't go for that. That's a silly place. Yeah, I've totally... Alright, I've lost all of my DROD skills. So getting flanked from all directions. So we need to focus on finding a safe spot to work, I think. Maybe charging in here would be a little bit better. Like, I could hang out here. They'll be fighting from multiple angles. That's not good. Like, this corner seems nice. Can I get that to that corner? Dead. There we go. Oh, we do have to stab all the corner blobs too. I didn't even see that there were trapdoors here. Okay. Alright. Starting to get back into the swing of it. Very slowly. Do I want to attack the middle yet? Yeah, let's go for it. So if I go like that, I've made a bad tar shape. That's a good tar shape, but now I'm probably dead. Nope. Okay. We have expansion coming very soon. The mud's not going to expand. Let's see if I can drop that. There we go. Stab all these. Okay. Don't do that. Do that instead. Alright. This is pretty much done for. A Pepe Paco, welcome. More DROD, yes. Always more. Ow. These games are so good. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't stay away. Alright, that's that. So the room is pretty much solved. I'm still dying all over the place. That's fine. Need to re-harness the sixth sense. So when the serpent's freed, what will I use as a killing spot? Ba, 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 ba. So in order to create a killing spot for the serpent, I want to go like this. Okay, let's do that better. There we go, serpent's done for. A rattlesnake. And now we hit this. Yep.
Clear.
Clear. Alright, one room done. That was a nice little room. A good little refresher. Oh, what's this? What's this? What do we have here? So far, I don't see any reason to play through these twice. But we're still at the very start. Oh, interesting. Okay. So because we've taken the top path, doesn't look like Beethro has access to this area. So we have to solve this puzzle differently because we are entering from the top. Interesting. The goal would appear to be to filter these golems into the bomb radius and ignite the fuse. And just kill them all. So something like this should mostly work. Just do the little DROD dance here. DROD dance. DROD dancing. DROD dancing. Didn't it end up... Whoa. Alright, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't realize there was a force arrow at the end of this. That's not good. Reset here. So my radius extends 2 tiles into the ortho squares. Oh, I goofed it. Goofed it again. See, now this guy's not going to get killed by the bombs. That guy right there. Okay, I almost had it that first try. So because these golems are in ortho squares, they're only going to walk directly north. They're only going to walk directly north to reach Beethro. They will never do diagonal steps, and they will never step directly east or west. And then these force arrows are gapped by pits, so they'll only walk north, north. Then once they walk here, then I can filter them to the sides. So like here. Let me see what happens if I just run past to pull them all 1 tile closer. The blast radius. So now that's good. The problem is this guy is going to get pulled there. Okay. So I want to be here. Pull him there, pull him down. Seems a little easier working from there. I can just repeat this pattern. Like that. Throw, why? Oh, they didn't? The force arrows block bomb explosions, that's why. I forgot about that. I did not consider. I mean, I haven't even been using these tunnels. I've just been walking on them. I haven't even been using these tunnels here. Alright, so let's do a repeat. Just run all the way over here. Hey, Scylla, welcome. That one puzzle that took forever. You're gonna have to be a bit more specific. Many puzzles have taken many units of time. So we can only pull golems into the checkerboard pattern here. So I have to be very certain that I'm only pulling 3 golems of each stack beyond the force arrows. And then we jump to the other side and pull the other 3 down here. Yeah, I remember that one. I'm pretty sure I know which one you're talking about, Scylla. And the lesson has been learned. So because this guy's on the arrow, now we switch. Go like that. You just have to do that over and over and over again. Except for that. Problem has arisen. Problem. Turn order just saved me there. Now I'm getting goofed up down here. Oh dear. Nah, this should be okay still. Alright, those guys are packed. Sufficiently packed. Sufficiently packed. Okay. Get my checkpoint now that they're packed. Oh, but we can't have that. I can't have that sort of action, so we need to pull from the south. Okay, there's those guys packaged. Now that the package... Oh, that's bad, that's bad. Do I have any free space here? $24, $48, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope. No free space whatsoever. Yep, it's over. It's all over. So how do we prevent packaging mishaps? Can I systematically do it? Because stepping north there pulls them there, and then the packaging is disrupted, and I can never pull another guy there. But I can go like that instead. Boom. Alright. Okay, we just have to make sure I swap sides from the correct tunnel. We can't have that, though. And if I step to the left, I'm going back up. No, we can have this. We can still have this. It's still viable. Just need to work on my filter skills. Hey, remember this song? I remember this song. I've heard this one before. If I go there... There we go. I think this is good now. I can get one more. And I'll give him the packaging. Oh, this is very finicky. Very finicky. There it is, okay. Whew. Teflon, welcome. Oh. This is very awkward and finicky. The way a good puzzle shouldn't be. So yeah, it looks like as long as I'm careful to not ever allow 3 golems beyond the force arrow, it's still salvageable. I could probably be riskier and do some shenanigans like that. Spreading them seems like a terrible thing to do. We're gonna play it a little fast and loose here. A little fast and loose. And see what the repercussions are later. Because if I can always refill spots, then I don't think this is nearly as strict as I was worried about. Of course, taking from both sides of the pile does make me a little nervous, because now I'm losing track of which side of the pile, how many from each stack I've absorbed. So I'm just going to play it fast and loose. Surely nothing will go wrong. Surely this is still fine. So I have 3 spots down in the south with a golem there. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spots up here with a golem there. So let's plug you in. Plug you in. You, my golem friend, must come there to there. And now we need to pull 1 more down and 1 up. Okay. Just go like that. Mistake could have been made right there. It's possible. Ba 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 ba. Okay. Got him. So now the question is, can I negotiate this empty spot to be there rather than there? Is that negotiable? There we go. Okay, those filter in that direction. So we need to filter in this direction. Like that. Oh, that's the wrong direction. This should be savable. So who's gonna move? He will move unless I take this line. Now he'll move. Oh, get out of there. We take that line and then back. Oh. That gives me another offset. I think that's what I wanted there. There we go. Clear. Hey, Gangrel, welcome. You gotta spread them sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta spread them. Now, it would be a radically different puzzle had we taken the south entrance, because you'd be killing them with your sword and spreading them that way. Okay, what's next? Immediately moving on. Oh, I see a mimic. I see shenanigans of mimicry. And roads. So if I step that way, it's not a mimic. It's a character! So what are the shenanigans here? Why can't I go like that?
Hey, that looks like a mimic, but it's not copying what I'm doing. Guess I need to make sure it hits that orb in the corner, or I'll never get out of here.
Okay. So he's scripted to step on likely all the corner tiles and then hit the orb to allow me to kill the brain or the mother to get out. So he's to make sure he can access the corners. He's probably gonna pause. So we're getting shenanigans. Thank you. Oh dear! Oh dear! Beetho's dead. His character's pretty good with his sword. He just doesn't know how to deal with mud. He's got moves, though. Sir? No! This is a very silly room. I like it. I'm waiting to see why I can't just do something like this and let the flood commence. I'm sure there's going to be a reason, but maybe not. Alright, go Beethrow! I feel like this would have been a considerably harder room with the mud growing rather than the tar.
Clear.
That was a fun little room. Oh, what's next? more characters. My dear friend goblins. Wubbas. Wubbas are cool. Wubbas are friends. Wubbas are joy. Let's reset like this.
Intruder detected. Initiate self-destruct sequence.
Whoa! Whoa! What? So they're probably scripted to go hit this bomb, which will kill these goblins. Which will then force me to... Okay, so we need to free the goblins before they explode, like that. And then use the goblins to kill the serpent. Goblin shepherding. Okay. So these first 12 moves are very rigid. Looks like there's no room for variation, because had I toggled the orb one turn later, all these goblins would be dead and I wouldn't have a way to kill the serpent. So we can't release the Wubbas unless we enter from the south. Alright, good old goblin.
That's something you don't see every day.
Now let's get brutalized by goblin swarms, because they're tricky. If I could trim this swarm down to 1, like that, and then hold this one in a place like that, and then send that serpent over there, which I failed to do. It wouldn't be that hard to kill this guy. Get him to track me south. I think that'd be a little bit better. Horizontal preference, I can send him there. But then he's going to turn north. Although he's going to switch to vertical... Oh! Vertical preference keeps him sending that way, yeah. So now he's in horizontal. He turns north once I step out of his vertical column because he's in horizontal preference and he wants to go west, which is blocked, sending him north. One of these days I'm going to innately master the art of serpent handling, but that day is likely not this one. I always have to try and think out, like, so far in advance it makes it hard. Like right now he's in vertical preference, he's going to continue traveling north no matter what I do until he hits his tail. Because he wants to travel south to get to me. South is blocked by his body, so he will default to north, then east, then south, then west, in that order, depending on which path is blocked. So he's gonna go there, there, there. Okay, that's fine. Now he switches to horizontal, sending him north for another turn, but now he's gonna go west. Yep. Unless I step here, and now, since he can neither go east nor west to get to me, he just goes north. Because that's his preference. This will... Now he's going to turn north again. He turns south. So why did he turn south to reach me instead of north? He's in horizontal preference. I thought he would go north from here. step up, he goes south. I step... I guess preference can be rendered irrelevant if we're already in the same column or row. They'll just follow that row if it's available. Directional preference is likely only important if we're not already in the same horizontal or vertical row and that row is available to travel in. Okay, I can believe that. I can make assumptions and believe them. So next turn he's going to switch to south. So we pull back here. And now he's going to shorten up a little bit. I didn't want that, but it's too late to do anything. Like here. He's in horizontal. But he switches to vertical, sending him south there. Now if I step north, he's going to go east. No, he didn't. So stepping north sends him... Oh, because turn order. The goblin blocks east if I step north, whereas if I step that way, the goblin doesn't block east. Okay. Oh, so close! I almost got him there. Can't allow you to get close, goblin. Let's get a checkpoint now. Maybe I need to find... Maybe it'd be better to try and attack him in this corner, since north is the easiest direction to send him in. Get him up on this line. That might be a little easier. Hey, MB83, welcome. I agree. Can never have enough DROD. Game is so good. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Vertical preference. Come back here, goblin. Need to corral the goblin. Goblin, get corralled. Like similar to how serpents have movement preferences, directional preferences. Goblins do as well. I need to like look it up rather than just try and intuit it. I think that would make this whole goblin wrangling mess much simpler. I think having multiple goblins as well would also make this much simpler. Alright, you got me. You got me. You got me.
Intruder detected.
Well, that's something you don't see every day.
Let's try with 2 goblins. I can get them to hold position there. That'd be a really good killing spot. But they're not going to hold like that. There we go. They held like that because the serpent was blocking them. Alright. Much easier with 2 goblins than just with the 1. It was probably still doable with the 1 goblin, but very fiddly. What is this? Oh, we got cool stuff. Guards. No, these are characters, not guards. All characters. Let's Reset South Sword. Banana posture. I should play Rolling Thunder again. And go for the real ending. Maybe someday when I'm feeling especially masochistic. This is brutal. What am I looking at here? So I don't have access to these. I can't even get in here and start killing these seep. I assume we just have to let these characters take care of that for me.
Looks like there are paths on the ground in this room, too. Those mimics better stay out of my way. I've got smiting to do.
Tell them, Beethro. Yeah, I can go like that. Yeah, try to avoid killing any of these pseudo-mimics. Because they seem to be helping me a lot. Where are the paths? Looks like it's just the dark grass tiles. And the road tiles are free. Okay. Alright, this doesn't seem too terribly tricky. I should get in here too, deal with this. Get a little bit of safety from the mother. Don't do it, Mimic. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, I want to go up here and kill this too, and then we'll just have complete safety from the tar. Oh, buddy. Made a wrong turn. That's fine. It's a fair few seep. A fair few seep indeed. Okay, let's get rid of this nonsense. Nonsense. Is that ever going to be poppable? Yeah. Okay. Get this out of here. All right. Cleanup time. Clean up on aisle seep. Oh, you got me. Why did I not kill him? There's no way he beat me in the turn order. What? That was really weird. I had that character dead to rights. Somehow he killed me. Alright, what's this? Hey Cadus, welcome. Welcome. I couldn't take it any longer. Had to answer the call of nature. DROD being nature. The choice is pretty cool. At the start, you enter from the north or the south, up or down. And it's implied that the choice you make will determine how you solve the puzzles going forward, and that's true. North is blue, bottom is red, mud tar. And the structure is alternating between rooms where you deal with a specific mother, either a tar mother or mud mother, depending on which choice you make. And the mother that's alive determines how you have to solve the room. So you do a mother puzzle and then another monster slaying puzzle that's also different depending on if you're entering from the north or south. This one taking mother's mud and tar out of the equation. It's been pretty cool so far. A little interesting concept. It looks like you are locked into one path throughout the entirety of the hold. Because they have scripted doors that aren't tied to any switches. If you enter from the north and then step on this force arrow, it opens this door, and that's the only way to open it to continue out of the room. Ba 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 ba. Like this room, there's no mother to deal with. We do have mud versus tar yet again. We only have access to one switch, which creates an alternate path through this maze, navigating through tar. I think we need to kill these Wraithwings? Are these characters? No, these are actually guards now, not characters. I'm not sure yet if I want to play both paths right away. I'm kind of itching to jump into Beethro's teacher. I may do that, and then later on down the road, revisit the choice with a different path. But we'll see. Alright, so immediately I want to start with my sword angled this way.
I'll have only one chance to place that mimic. I'd better check to see what that orb does before I grab the potion.
Okay, I see. So since the orb creates a specific route through this maze, Beethro travels the top route, the Mimic travels the bottom route. And the Mimic will have to kill these Wraithwings and guards, where Beethro has to kill these Wraithwings and guards. Interesting! Being very careful of that sword orientation, not to stab bombs along the way, because one bomb would trigger a chain reaction. Cool! Oh, that's dead.
I'll have only one chance to place that mimic. I'd better check to see what that orb does before I grab the potion.
Put that there. Oh dear me. I've screwed up. Don't do that.
I'll have only one chance to place that mimic. I'd better check to see.
Let's put him there instead. So now the Mimic can traverse the south path. There's no red gate. Oh, spiders. Spiders. This is a bit of a problem here. A bit of a problem here. Mildly problematic at the moment. only mildly. Okay, just have to do this little dance. Oh, mildly problematic. Okay. Thou art free, Bethro. So now what do? I think these Wraithwings should be the first order of business. There we go. These ones are going to be a bit of a thing to deal with. I need a ratchet spot for this Mimic, which is only here. Let's try and keep this mud here so I can ratchet this Mimic, or pull the Wraithwings into it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, guards coming. Guards coming. Guards are an enemy that I've never really had much of a chance to deal with. And they just, like, killed themselves, so no big deal. Oh lordy, guards coming. Okay. Now I want to get this Wraithwing dealt with immediately. Good. The rest of the monsters are on Mimic Path. Need to do some ratchet business. That wasn't enough ratchet business, but it'll be good enough. One more guard. Alright, come get somebody. I said come get some. Sir? Sir? Lots of death. Alright, that was a fun little room. Interesting puzzle. And we got this again. Ooh, these are characters, I assume? Yep. So now we have characters traversing the inner route. Tar will be expanding, Mud will be slain. It would appear the intent here is to herd the queens into these roads to be slain by the characters who will likely travel in a patrol. And then toggle the orb to seal the doors in time to prevent Mud, or Tar rather, from spitting babies out. Cool. So let's immediately reset the room with the South Sword. Deal with that one. And can't do that. This is kind of problematic. That roach is permanently locked in place. Okay. This is tricky. I should probably like plan this out and not just run and hope everything works. We're gonna try the running and hope everything works strat first. Can't allow these to get trapped. Oh, come on. You're supposed to kill it. Okay. Don't do that. This doesn't look very good at the moment. Doesn't look good. But it might be fine still. Alright, all the queens are dead. Can I just hit this now? No, of course not. Can I ever hit this? Mayhaps? Whoa! I didn't even realize that this was happening. Get out of here. Oh, terrible. Oh, terrible, 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 terrible growth. Go. Alright. All the pressure has been alleviated from Sir Beethrow. So is it still feasible to clear this room at this juncture? It's an undetermined question. Undetermined answer. Perhaps it will be. Like, if we just go like that, now we're good. Except for that! There we go. Clea. Interesting little room. Very interesting. These have been pretty fun. What is this? That's a lot of eyeballs. Oh, the master wall already. I didn't see any secrets. Master wall? Where's the secrets? Where are they? Secret paths. What the heck? Secret paths. Where you be? Secret paths. Secret, 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 secret. Bow wow wow. Bow wow wow. Where are the secrets? Secret, secret, secret. I don't see any. Oh yeah, there's still progression. Okay.
There you see, this Delver clearly
My left
prefers
ear.
tar.
Aw, how can you choose tar when mud is so easy to clean up?
Okay, this looks a little unhinged at the moment, but perhaps it will be hinged. It might be hinged.
What? This is some stupid competition between bored brains?
Don't. Oh, they're both. Of course, they're both gonna grow. Don't know why I didn't think they wouldn't. Alright, unhinged. Oh boy. This will spiral out of control with haste. Oh boy. Oh, let's just start chopping away. Hello, serpent. Serpent, would you like to spiral out of control? Brain serpent. There we go. Okay. No! Over here. No! I like this orb. Okay.
Oh.
This is a very silly room. I kind of like it. So I'm gonna try to let tar expand the most rather than mud. Brained baby movement. Everything's different, but slightly easier. And this is bad. I may have mistimed this rattler. Oh dear me. Bethro is dead.
Uh-oh.
Back here. I might have been able to save that. But I didn't. Whoa. This is fine. No! Back here. Dang it. like to get another checkpoint before too long. We've systematically wiped out about half of these bad boys. I don't see any spots that will be rendered impossible to reach. I think everything's still fine. So let's continue the journey south. And just be a... Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, rest in peace, Beethro. You have died. Yep. Do this again. Do this again. Alright. If only it were gel, yeah. Gel had not been invented at this time, though. Be cool. Would definitely be a nice twist on this. Let's do... there. Wait for safety. Okay. I want that checkpoint, like, real bad. Alright, 15 turns. I think I screwed up here. Son of a gun. Growth. I need to at least have some sort of plan for how I'm going to deal with that rattlesnake. That's my problem. I don't have a plan. I'm kind of hoping that growth will save me like that.
Oh dear.
I'm just gonna leave him there now. Because brained rattlesnake will be a bit of a problem. Especially while my movement's so constrained. I'm just gonna leave him there until I can start chunking away at the rest of the mothers. Prevent growth and debrain, yeah. And then it should be relatively simple just to finish him off. The last tar mother's up top there. Be a real shame to kill that last tar mother while access to the mud brain is blocked. Don't want that to happen.
Hey, that's not part of the rules. You must follow them.
I make my own rules.
You're dead. Mistimed that. I misjudged, just barely. Oh, misjudged. Get out. Oh, I just saw that. If you come along in the south path, if you enter in the south, you get an invisibility potion. Wow. That would change a lot of things. Hey, Mud is done. Mud has been defanged.
No, no Delvers are allowed near me. Play fair.
I have to be very careful. I cannot kill this mother on this turn. We gotta wait.
This is no game to me.
Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Giant swarms of tar. Sight to see. Clear out some space. Don't do that.
Ha! There never was a choice. I hate both tar and mud equally.
You tell him, B-throw. So I'm gonna guess that's the end. I'm gonna guess that that's the end right there. So let's not go to the end. Go this way. There never was a choice. Oh, we're gonna have to play through it twice to get through the master door. Ah, very clever. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. What's this say? Delver Efficiency Test, TAR Phase 1. Low risk for a more relaxed testing environment. Delver's speed will be recorded and compared. What? Now we're being tested? What is this? That doesn't even make sense. How? How did they construct this as a test? So 3 walls must be dropped to access the next room. Green wall, kill brains and babies. Tar Stuff Gate, kill all tar, which could become a problem based on this character's movement patterns. And then red wall, drop all trap doors. Cool. Orbs? Orbs do things. Oh. Lots of things, okay. Orbs provide access to tar cutting, I suppose? Ignition! Path changes only occur at the northwest point of each loop. What? Ignition? I'm not really sure what that means. Oh, I don't even have access to this bit. I don't even have access to any of this. Okay, let's see. I may be rendering this impossible. I'm not really carefully checking my tar cutting. So if I just stab that, nothing happens. If we just stab that, then he begins his journey. And now he's stuck because he can't spin his sword to cut that. Yeah. Alright. Alright, interesting. So if we never cut any tar and just let him go about his path, we end up with a lot of babies in here, which could be problematic. Now we have to see how the path changes work. I'm gonna have him just kill these. My efficiency is going to be, like, terrible. I don't care. I don't care. So if I hit that now, what do? I die. Bow, 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 bow. So now he's stuck on that loop. Okay.
Clear.
Clear. That put him back on that one? I don't want that. Maybe that's fine. Tar Stuff Gate. Okay. How does my score rank? 833 moves. I feel like that was pretty bad. Oh, this changes everything now. So now these are characters up here. This is a clock of some sort. Time limit introduced in order to study the Delver's abilities under pressure. Delver must finish before the alignment occurs. Okay. We have Wubbas involved as well. So is this the exact same arrangement of walls and tar, just with the introduction of Wubbas and time pressure? No trapdoor gate. The Wubbas will kind of mess with things. Bow, 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 bow. Oh, I see. I understand. The orbs are on the color of floor that the character's path will become. So it looks to me like we just need to get it in, like, 3 loops. 1 loop, and then swap to a different cycle, and then swap. Last time I did... I think we do road, and then alternate floor, and then grass. I think that's the same order I did last time.
Begin countdown.
Please no wubbification. Please no wubba. Don't wubbify me, please. No wubbas. Wubbas! Oh, wubba saves the brain. And now what? I can't... And now it's over. Okay. Wubba. No wubba-ing. Okay, wait. I need to wait for him to stab that brain and then redirect. So we got a little bit of time to hit that. I didn't even stab the orb. The wubbification! Okay. The wubbification plot. So there's all the tar taken care of. Now it's just about getting him to kill these babies in the most appropriate manner. Which is going to be problematic because of wubbas. I gotta de-wubbify. I said de-wubbify, not wubbify. Oh dear. My de-wubbification plan is failing. Time is about running out. We can alternate to here. That'll put him on the brick road. Wubbification. Go down, smack that, come back up. Don't hit the wall so much. Yeah, the big problem here is the babies. The babies that have been released. I'm pretty much out of time here. I need to be able to effectively slaughter the babes. Can we swap now? I don't know if I want to swap. Okay, I think this will work. I think we're about there. Just need to effectively do some Wubba management. Okay, de-Wubbify like that, and that should be good. Okay. That was an interesting little room. Interesting little room. Pretty fun. Pretty neat. Yeah, in order to get through the master wall, we must retraverse the dungeon. So we are doing it twice. We conquered the choice. Mithro emerged from a secret door into the very alley that he was captured from. Blinking his eyes at the bright afternoon sunlight, he made his way to the nearest bar. The only decision I want to make for the rest of my days between less filling or tastes great, said Mithro, grumpily unaware of the dark figures observing him from the shadows. They whispered excitedly to themselves after he strode away. All fell silent as the tall figure began to speak. Further tests will be necessary. I'm sure you know that of which I speak. Smaller figures looked at each other with dread in their eyes. They turned back to the master, made their obeisance, scurried off. Yes, I have a feeling you'll be the one to help us finally achieve our goal, Mithro. The master slowly faded into the shadows, leaving only his diabolical laughter behind. Let's go.
What will you choose?
Huh?
The blue.
Immediately do round 2. Immediately launch into round 2. That was only, what, an hour and a half? That's not bad. So now we must resolve the entire hold. I'm assuming... yeah, it keeps all the record of everything I've done. So I did continue playing rather than start new game. So now this room, the difference is mud will be expanding rather than tar. Let's try not to die immediately like I keep doing. Okay. How about we just play it safe instead of rushing through? Hey look, I'm dead. Bow, wow, wow, wow. Good gravy. My safe spot's not very safe. Reassess. No! Bethro's dead. Okay. Oh, come on! Its timing is tight. I don't know if I can actually survive this. I can from here. I could actually, like, use the terrain to help. That's probably wise. Ba, 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 ba. I love it when Bethro gets all exasperated. Don't do that. Mistakes were made, yet again. Whew. Slow but steady. See, I almost feel like brained hordes can be easier to deal with, especially after having to deal with both brained and unbrained. I mean, they both have their drawbacks, but oftentimes when you're dealing with like swarms, the brained hordes will tend to follow the same path to reach you, and so you can kind of funnel them into choke points a bit more easier to deal with them. Of course, they can also overwhelm you much easier. There we go. Alright, it's pretty much done. Drop those. Oh boy. Oh boy, Bethro! Bethro's dead. Bethro's dead. Bethro died. Bethro died. I wish there were a way to like import different music I know the musical selections are like based on the tile set. Like, this song wasn't in DROD 2. It'd be nice to get the DROD 2 music. Just for some variety. I've heard this song 7 million times. It's a good song, don't get me wrong. I've heard it 7 million times, though. Alright, serpents must be dealt with in the appropriate manner. Serpent will be a pain to deal with, but he can be dealt with. Perhaps via the Rattler. Let's the Rattler rattle his way up here. Rattler? Rattler? Shout. Rattle your rattle for me, Rattler. I have no plan of attack, I'm just hoping they just deal with it. They just fall apart. You can do that, though. Whoa! Rest in peace, Beethro. Thou art dead. Maybe making a terrible mistake there by killing all the mud. I don't care. I have confidence that the rattlesnake has just goofed everything up. I have no serpent kill spot. We can just send the sending the serpent west into there would be a disaster. I do not feel up to that task. We can do some trimmage. There. Just carve a little serpent kill zone out of serpent flesh. Again, we're forced sending him west. Like that. Sometimes you gotta use the blood of, or the flesh of their brethren against them. Sword this way. Just go! Go, Beethro! Alright, so now we have to actually fight the golems rather than pack them into bombs. So this immediately seems much more problematic. But it might not be. So I want to see why this strat here won't work. I think it's just going to work. Give him the clumpification here. I see problems. I see where problems will begin to arise. So I need to actually get in here. These are problems. We have major problems. Major problems. Yep, we got a pocket. The unkillable pocket has been activated. Can't allow for the unkillable pocket to be activated. Unkillable pocket is a strong technique. So let's instead do rows. Clumpify. You, sir. Go down. Oh, dude, B-throw. I stepped on the arrow. Be a bit more careful with my movement. I don't like you being there, so let's not have you be there.
Well, I got the job done. But is it art?
Is it art? What? Is it art? Is B-throw implying that there's a specific way to kill the golems to trigger a different voice line? I think it looks pretty nice. Is it art? When has B-throw been an artist? When has he cared about things like that in the least? Yeah, I'm actually worried about this room. This one might be a annoyance. This could be a problem here.
Hey, that looks like a mimic, but it's not copying what I'm doing. Guess I need to make sure it hits that orb in the corner, or I'll never get out of here.
This looks like a big problem here. I'm a little worried about this problem. In open space where mud is allowed to grow freely, I don't think I can eliminate this. Oh. Well, let's just see how this plays out. I'm very worried. Dude, not cool. Thank you. It's like here. This is where the problems arise. It's a lot of cutting to make this path accessible. With the continual growth, this is problematic. I may have made terrible mistakes in life. Alright. No! Got him one tile further. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear! I was worried about this room. We must take preventative measures. Perhaps the correct choice... Let me see how this plays out. Perhaps the correct choice...
Hey, that looks like a mimic, but it's not copying what I'm doing. Guess I need to make sure it hits that orb in the corner, or I'll never get out of here.
That's not the correct choice. We can't allow that to happen. I didn't realize it would spit a baby there. Okay.
Hey, that looks like a mimic, but it's not copying what I'm doing. Guess I need to make sure it hits that orb in the corner, or I'll never get out of here. Ah!
Mistakes were made. Bethro died. See, I don't know if I can attack this efficiently enough. Okay. And now we're getting problems again. I'm worried that it's grown too far, but let's try and attack it. I think the diagonal approach is a bit more effective. I think. Now, trimmage. This is ridiculous. Okay, now we have growth, so let's hold that baby there. We're making headway. Headway is being achieved. Do a couple lines. Revert to diagonal. Get some ASMR squishing sounds for your relaxation and enjoyment. If you're into that sort of thing. We're almost there. Oh, dear Lord. No, 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 no. Don't do that. All right. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, there's got to be a better way to systematically go about cutting mud in a mothered room. I think you're right, Bird. Seeing which edge is shortest, and then working on that one, it's probably the ideal path, and diagonal cutting when they're even. And then using the growth to determine where to attack. Okay. Interesting room. Only 1,092 moves. It's got to be a new high score. So this room differs now because the goblins just get killed, and we have to wubbify the serpent?
Intruder detected. Initiate.
Yeah, the goblins just get
That's
killed.
something you don't see every day.
Now we just wubbify this bad boy. Give him some instant wubbification. Hey, hey, I said wubbify! Serpent? Serpent? Sir? Hello? Serpent? See ya. Hey, Almacia. Yeah, we gotta wubbify some guys sometimes. These are wubbas. Wubbas are friends. They purr when you pet them with your sword. They're friends and also terrifying in the wrong context. Okay, so how does this differ? I guess this is different from the previous attempt in that the character guards take the road path, whereas the character mimics took the grass path. That seems to be the only meaningful difference here.
Looks like there are paths on the ground in this room, too. Those mimics better stay out of my way.
There's no mimics here, Beethro. Are you drunk? I may be in trouble. Nope. I may be in trouble. I should go for these. Oh. I should go for these. Oh dear, I didn't see you coming from behind. They got me. They got me. Okay. I like this song a lot. I might even say I like this song a little more than Three Blind Mice. I might even say that. This room seems a lot easier. Not that it was very hard in the other incarnation. There's just a lot of gotchas. You have to be very careful about getting got. I got. Okay. Now get out. Alright. Oh, this one. I think this one's gonna be pretty much the exact same.
I'll have only one chance to place that mimic. I'd better check to see what that orb does before I grab the potion.
I think this one will be pretty much the exact same. I guess we do have a different route. So the orb splits the central bridge into two paths yet again. Yeah, it seems like it's pretty much exactly the same. Okay. So as long as this mimic gets placed up here... Oh, thank you, guard. First things first, I want to kill these Wraithwings. I can also ratchet the Mimic to kill these Wraithwings. Alright, Wraithwing's done. Oh, there's a couple more. Never mind. Leave Mimic there, I think. Just for ease of kill. Again, I'm not too terribly familiar with like guard killing strategies. Like here, if you're facing a guard like this, stepping north has him try to flank you, I guess? Or maybe they try to avoid clashing swords? Like, I don't really fully understand guard AI because they're hardly used in holds. At least in earlier holds. Maybe later games and play with them a lot more. But now I can just turn my sword and kill it. If I turn my sword here, he kills me. If I back up, he just follows that line. If I step forward, he kills me. If I wait here, he turns his sword, and then I can also kill him like that. Okay. It looks like that's probably the best way to deal with guards. I guess this is a very narrow hallway as well, which complicates things. They might have flanking AI that gets negated in a narrow hallway like this. But here you can just kill it. Just kill it. Just give it the death. Give it the death. Why did that kill me? Because Mimic went that way. Oh dear. Ratchet. Don't have any ratchet really. There we go. Enough with the explosions. I said enough. No, I said enough. Clea. Okay. Alright, getting close to the end again. Now, this seems at first glance to be identical. I suspect this is identical to the tarred version. It's my suspicion. I'm going to immediately just kill this tar or this mud to save Beethro the headache of dealing with it. Alright. We have problems already. Problems can be dealt with, though. There we go. Oh! That was much quicker than last time. Cool. And we're back here.
I knew it. This Delver has declared mud to be his favorite.
No. How can this be? Tar is so simple to cut through to your target.
No. Alright, so now we have invisibility to contend with. This is an interesting little wrinkle.
This is some stupid competition between bored brains?
This is an interesting little wrinkle to this room. So tar will only expand, or mud, if they can see me. Like, I can wait right here, and all the eyes are outside of my invisibility smell range, and so it doesn't expand. If I were in brain range, it would also expand. Serpents don't move if they can't smell you, unless you're in brain range. So we can actually play this much more tactically now. And not have to deal with troublesome growth cycles or things of that nature. Or I can just die. Whoops!
I knew it. This Delver has declared mud to be his favorite.
No.
I chose
How
death.
can this be? Tar is so simple to cut through to your target.
What? This is some stupid competition between bored brains?
Oh, I chose poorly there. This is much sloppier than last attempt. I do have a safe spot right here. So there, only the mud saw me, so only the mud expanded that time. Yet another wrinkle. Now they both saw me. Retreat. Not quick enough.
This Delver.
Mistakes have been made.
What? This is some stupid competition between boar brains?
Just play it safe. Just play it safe. Play it safe and nothing can go wrong. Retreat. Good. Hey, I remember this song. Cool. So now the serpent up there is going to be moving. So I need to work on creating a serpent kill zone. Easier said than done, but with tactical expansion tactics, it should be quite viable. I'll take that. Now we wait for vertical preference. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Get out. Okay. Invisibility makes snakes so much easier to deal
Hey,
with.
that's not part of the rules. You must follow them.
Invisibility makes snakes so easy to deal with.
I make my own rules.
You tell him, B-throw. Get out. Get out. Get out. Ooh, just barely made it. I'm playing this very slow and safe. But I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, I really have no interest in trying to optimize my room times and get high scores or anything like that. Especially not when it's my first time playing through. I'm happy just killing the stuff at my own pace. You haven't seen the last of me! Injury's so cool. Oh, barely made it out there. I could make it to this guy. Alright. Alright, very good. can I work some magic with this rattlesnake? Not easily. You're free now! Hey, come back here.
Oh dear.
Freaking serpent. Don't be a nuisance like that. Just let me kill you easily. No, serpent. Come back here. Ah! Be throw. Okay.
No, no devils are allowed near me. Play fair.
This is no game to me.
Clea.
There never was a choice. I hate both tar and mud equally.
Alright, the choice is just an illusion. Let's go. So what is the difference here? This looks like the same general configuration. Mud phase, yep. More relaxed testing environment. Delver speed will be recorded and compared. I don't care. This looks like the same general configuration. Let's just do the same thing and see what happens. Just hit that. Don't stab any mud. Let him do his rounds. Okay. Then alternate him to... Oh, I do have to stab some mud. Don't do that. Good. And now when we switch to here, we should get the cleanup. Whoa, where'd you come from? Okay, so that's the sloppy way, but now we have the timer again. Wubbas are a factor. So this is like the same thing. The same thing. So first things first, reset the room like that so I can hit that orb as quickly as possible to begin the spin cycle. Although perhaps I want to have a different orientation. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The timer doesn't start until we hit the orb, so we can do the cleanup real quick. Because this is going to be required eventually. You can cheat the exam. Plus this reduces the number of babies that need to be dealt with. Cool. Cool, I like cheating. So I did this one, that one, this one last time? No, I did this one, that one last time. Just ignore that. Let's do the same thing.
Begin countdown.
Now, wubbification is an issue for sure. But not until we reroute him once. For now, the wubbas are contained. But rerouting will cause wubbification to occur. So if I pack those into there, okay, now we can switch. Wubbified! Oh, I wasn't expecting wubbification so soon. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Missed my window. Okay, so I need to come south to get the wubbas out of the way like that. Whoa, wubba! There we go. Make sure the guard's in front of the wubba. Good. Alright. We still have a fair amount of time. Wubbified! I don't know if this is enough. I don't know if a fair amount's going to be enough. Not with the powers of wubbification. Oh, it would have been had it not been for the one wubba. The Lord of the Wubbas. The Wubba Lord has ruined everything. Okay. Well played, wubba. The word wubba is just fun to say. So let's do a little bit better packaging. Now I'm immediately concerned about wubba. Concerns have been alleviated. So now we package. So package wubba. I'm getting fully destroyed by the wubbas. Okay. I would like to not have that occur. A wubba into prayer. That's all we need here. Go. Oh, that's bad. See, I can't allow him to go that way, but we can put him there. Then I have to wait. Good gravy. Can we get full clumpage here? I'm afraid the wubbas have plans of their own. Oh dear. I wouldn't have destroyed this, it probably would make things a lot easier. But I destroyed it. I'm just gonna have to live with the mistakes. Dude, these wubbas! They are a nuisance! And they only become worse the longer I stay. Well, that's end. The longer I stay on one end, the wubbas just get worse. So let's run down here. Maybe that's the play. There it is. There it was! Oh, that was it. Wow, 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 wow. One away. Okay. Some different movement patterns should be just enough to make everything fine. It's not. No.
Clear.
It worked. Okay. Whew. Tricky room. We got it. Hold master. Cool. Let's go. What final secret lies in store in the mastery? Taunts East.
Ah! What the Jeebus? What does it all mean?
Oh, we got recursion. Oh no. Ah! This is awesome. A little smiley face. Oh, Beethro. Beethro's having an existential crisis.
What an amazingly handsome fellow.
Maybe not. Just takes it all in stride.
Now that's just weird. Somehow I doubt I'll be able to get help for this thing. Nothing odd about this map at all. Nope. A shame I'm too freaked out to appreciate the alliteration.
That's awesome. Well, then,
Escape.
oh,
Great idea. Get me out of this madhouse.
anything else? Any other voice clips? I feel like that's probably all of them. Yeah. Oh, that was cool. Let's get out of here. Looks like the same text, 100%. All right, 100%. Stop the timer. Cool. That was pretty fun. That was a good time. I like the choice. That was pretty fun. Nothing too difficult. It was very creative. I liked how they created rooms that could be solved in two different ways. Forcing you to go through it twice, I mean, I'm fine with that because the two different playthroughs had different puzzles. It's interesting to see a different spin on the same room. That was cool. A good time. Well done, Neil Frederick. Short and sweet, too. Not even 2.5 hours. That's by far the quickest one of these Smite Master selections. Contrast that to Beethro's Teacher, which will likely be the longest. Perfection was like, what, 20-something hours? 25, 30 hours? Good times, good times. So we're not done yet. The DRODing must continue. We'll go straight into Beathro's teacher. So I'm gonna take a quick break first. Need some more water. Go use the restroom. Go stretch. We'll come back and do a couple hours of Beathro's teacher. Probably get like two screens cleared. Probably. We'll see how it goes. I'll be right back. We'll jump into the next one.